Hey, Miles here, milesbeckler.com. In this video, you're going to look at the results with me from 19 months of content marketing. 19 months ago, I started creating a video a day, and I continued with that for 4 months straight, so 120 videos in 120 days. Since then, I've gotten on a 3 video per week kind of time schedule, and I've been consistent with that for over 15 months now, so totaling 19 months of video content marketing. And in the last, I don't know, 6, 8 months, I really began to work on getting my videos transcribed and turned into blog posts. Those are going on my WordPress blog. We're going to look at the analytics of my WordPress blog. I've also been ripping the MP3 file from the audio file from my videos and publishing those that are relevant to a podcast directory, so they're on the iTunes podcast directory, Stitcher, any real podcast app that you may use. You can search for Miles Beckler and you'll find my content on there as well. So we're going to look at the number of downloads in the podcast area as well, so you can see the results from my 3 pillars of content marketing strategy. But real quick before we jump in, a new number that I'm playing with. The big goal in creating the content and growing the audience is ultimately to grow an email list. I talk a lot about this, and in the last month, my emails I've been sending out have been talking a lot about the value and the benefit of growing your email list, as that's really the core asset of what you own. For example, YouTube actually owns this video right here, and if YouTube made the decision, they could turn me off. Just like Facebook back in the day, we could get a lot of reach and organic kind of traffic from fan pages and then from groups. Facebook has crushed both of those because Facebook owns that interaction. But your email list is an interaction that you own. I'm about to cross the 4,000 subscriber mark on my email list, which is still a tiny list in my niche, but it's a very productive list, and it's a list that I've been emailing a lot more recently. I'm working on emailing every single day right now to really get that skill sharpened and to really build the relationship with my subscribers. So if you're not on the list, be sure to join. It's at milesbeckler.com/free-course. You get a free course, my free How to Make Money Online course that documents my process of going from essentially a side hustle to $1 million business online. You get that free course, and then you'll get my updated emails as they come out. So with about 4,000 subscribers, it's actually like 39,000 or 3,950 subscribers. Over the last month, I got about 18,000 emails opened. So I've sent out a lot of broadcast emails, and I went and counted all of the opens. There's no easy way for me to show this to you. It was kind of a manual process. It was a little ugly, but the number is about 18,000 opens. So think about that. From a list of 4,000 people, I got over 18,000 opens in the last month. That's a lot of really direct and intimate connection with my audience, an opportunity to give lots of value to my audience, and I did share a few affiliate products over this last month, which generated revenue for me. So keep that in the back of your mind as we're looking at all of these audience growth and audience reach kind of numbers, that it's all funneling back to my email list. For about 4,000 subscribers right now and 18,000 opens in the last month. That's a pretty remarkable number. I'm not sure if I'll total that up every month, but I wanted to give you something new and valuable here in month 19. So let's jump in. We're going to start here in YouTube. You can see at this point I have 48,520 subscribers. We're going to go into the Creator Studio and get a little more granular on the data. One number that a commenter mentioned to me is I have now crossed the 2 million views mark. That just happened. So I've got over 2 million views on all of my videos combined. You can see I have 337 videos total, and we're going to click on Analytics. This is going to bring us in. Really what I'm looking at is just the month over month, and then I'm going to do a little zoom out to get kind of a more of a lifetime picture to see the big growth curve. Because what happens is when you're first starting to create content, you're putting in a lot more work than the results that you're seeing, but after a while it shifts and you start to get leveraged results. You get compounding results from the efforts you put in, and that's the phase I'm at now. You can see month over month I'm up right now. It's about 6.7% up on the watch time. I've got an average of about 2% up on my average view duration, and the number of views is up about 5%. This is all exciting. Likes are up 6.something%. Subscribers are up about 7%. I like that. Videos and playlists are up 5,555%. That's just a lucky number that I love to see right there. 15% up. So what this is showing you is that all of my numbers are up. And if you've been watching these, you noticed a couple of months ago all of my numbers were down. This happens when you're on a long schedule, right? When you're looking at things zoomed way out over long periods of time, you're going to notice that some months you're up, some months you're down, and that's okay. Let's click up here and switch to the lifetime real quick to get an idea of what the lifetime numbers are. Remember, I started this in August of 2016. You can see I had nothing going on till literally right about August of 2016. And honestly, this is several months of work right here that I'm hovering over. So I didn't really even get up to this new range that I'm operating in for about 6 to 8 months of consistent publishing. But you can see I have a 13,950,000 minutes watched, an average view duration of about 7 minutes, and you can see here I've crossed that 2 million views mark, which is absolutely astounding. 17,000 comments. I find that to be pretty amazing how many comments, and I've responded to many of those. So I've got several thousand of those counting towards me as well. And then one more thing I want to look at before we get out of here is we're going to do this past quarter, so the last 90 days, which it's about March 21st. So I think that'll go back to about December 21st. And then I'm going to create a comparison to the 90 days before that. And we'll do previous period here. So the previous period is in orange and the current period is in blue. And you can see it's pretty close to even, right? Like there's a 20,000 difference here, there's a 100,000 difference here. Very, very small amounts of numbers in that sense, but you can see 6 million minutes viewed and literally almost a million total views in the last 6 months here, those two numbers combined. That's pretty amazing results considering I'm doing 3 videos a week. It takes me maybe 2-3 hours per week. On a bad week, I'd say it takes me 5 hours per week to put it all together for you. And the amount of leverage I'm getting from that effort is quite astounding. So this is the goal to me, is to get your business at a point where you're not putting in all that much effort, but you're getting lots and lots and lots of results. So you can see here in the milesbeckler.com, this is analytics for my blog. I've got 20,000 sessions, about 19,000 sessions. That's how many visits, 37,000 page views, and about 11,000, a little over 11,000 sessions. So let's do a quick month over month comparison here to get an idea of what that change is, right? Because I'm looking for the change, and all the numbers are up, right? So about 3.35% sessions more, a little over about 3% more users, about 5% more page views. I've added a recent or a kind of a similar content widget at the bottom of my posts. I'm working on more internal linking, trying to get my blog posts to link to each other. I'm not emailing from my list back to my blog as much as I could. I've got one queued up to go out today to email a new blog post that's really, really good that just got published by my team. So that's one thing I'm going to be doing more in the future, is try to get people back to my website from my email list, get some of those 18,000 email opens back onto these numbers to reintroduce them to my content. But all in all, I'm really excited to see where these numbers are month over month. I want to do a year over year comparison because I like the little bit zoomed out version to see what's going on. So year over year, it's astounding, right? About 200% increase, roughly 206 in users, 191% in sessions. You can see the orange line was last year, the blue line is this year. So this time last year, I had been putting out videos every day for 9 months, right? Like not every day. I did every day for 4 or 5 months, and then I went into kind of that 3 videos per week. But as of 9 months of effort last year of doing my content marketing, I still wasn't seeing that significant of results. The effort I've put in here on the blue line towards my blog compared to the effort I put in towards content marketing here on the orange line, I'm putting in less effort now and I'm getting greater results. This is what happens when you do content marketing for the long term. That's the goal of what I'm trying to show you. You can see here, this is inside of my podcast account. This is I'm using Libsyn to manage the feed of my podcast. It gives me this little snapshot. We're on the 21st of March, which means we're about 3 weeks in. We've got 1 week left to go. So I'm assuming this is going to end up around 4,200 to 4,500 downloads. You can see that's a really consistent range that I'm in. It looks like I'm getting about 4,000 downloads per month. But what this means is that really all time I've got 26,000 downloads. That means 26,000 times people with earbuds in their ears and their phone in their hand, whether they're commuting, walking the dog, doing dishes, doing something else, washing their car. I don't know exactly what they're doing, but as they're going through these processes, they're listening and consuming my content. So this is additional connection with my audience who A, may not actually watch YouTube, because a lot of people don't have time or energy to sit in front of a YouTube video to watch the YouTube video. B, they're doing something else and I'm just meeting them where they're at. That's the key to this whole idea, is that my blog content meets people who search Google and like to read. My podcast content, it meets people who prefer to listen to content, right? I'm making my content available for them on the podcast. And then obviously the YouTube videos are here for you, YouTube viewer, who enjoys watching the YouTube, who's subscribed to my channel. If you haven't, click the subscribe button, obviously, and get the new ones when they come out. But that's the goal. First step was, I want to remind you, I got really, really comfortable publishing on one platform, which was here on YouTube. I was really publishing on YouTube pretty much every day for 4 months. I didn't really do much of anything outside of publishing every single day on YouTube because I didn't really have the bandwidth. I wasn't comfortable enough with the process. But it took me about a year, and once I got into about a year, I had my system created and outsourced for turning my video content into blog posts. And then a couple of months after that, I was able to get a system in place where I took the audio rip of my videos and got it out onto my podcast. And now, 2 years in almost, right, a year and a half in, I've really ramped up the email process because I've got my email list growing and I'm sending out more and more emails to stay in touch with people and really to go deeper, to share more insights, to share more about my life, about my travels, about my business, and about my philosophies on business. I'm sharing that closest, most highest value content that I share. It actually goes to my email list because that is the one asset I own. Therefore, I'm rewarding people who stay on my list and open my emails with the absolute best and most insightful content I can possibly give, which is why it makes sense to join the email list if you haven't at this point. But ultimately, I'm really sharing this with you so you can understand what you need to be doing in your business as you're growing your business online. Big step one is to grow your audience, which means producing content native to the different platforms: YouTube, podcast, your blog. Start with the one that's easiest for you. For me, creating these videos is really easy to do. I just put on my mic, my headset, my mic, click record, and I go. And it just comes out and it flows. Some people are natural writers, and if that's you, then write. Don't force yourself to do YouTube videos. If you're a natural writer and writing comes easier to you, do what's easiest and get the routine built. Get the habit built in your life first, because that's what everything starts from. Then focus on repurposing the content into the 3 different pillars. Again, YouTube, there's the podcast, and then there's your blog on WordPress to get access to the Google visitors, right? To people searching Google for information about what your topic is. And then work on building your basic funnel, your opt-in page, your lead magnet to get those individuals onto your list. And then the trick is to email every day. Really email a lot. That builds the relationship. It puts the value in their hands. It proves that you're a leader, not just an expert, an absolute leader, because you live, eat, breathe, sleep this stuff. How do they know? You're doing videos about it, you're getting blog posts about it, podcasts coming out about it, you're emailing about it all the time, and your best audience segment, who is most excited about what you're teaching and what you can help them with, they're gonna eat it all up, right? They're gonna love all the content you want. People want more and more content. Go be of service to an audience. That's the real trick. And then make sure you're kind of building it in a way that you do ultimately own the relationship, which is why you got to get them back to your email list, because then you own the relationship, which is an absolute key. That's it for this video. I hope this has been helpful. I like to give the overview of the kind of process, the goals, and to show you the results. The real results don't kick in for months, if not years on end. I feel like I'm still just getting started with this whole content marketing thing. I look forward to following these numbers along through year 2, year 3, and year 5. I'm confident that the numbers are going to be getting crazier and crazier as we go, but yet I'm staying patient in this moment, enjoying the process, enjoying putting out the content, enjoying looking for new topics to put out content for you on, because that's my job as a content creator. And when you apply this focus, this approach of being of service to an audience in your niche for your business model, and then you stick with it for a few years, not months, years, you will be astounded at what you can create online. It's a lot of hard work work at first, but then you get that tipping point and your rewards and the results from your effort are absolutely compounding, which is what we're seeing in my numbers now. It makes everything more fun and more exciting. It's a lot of work to get that momentum, but once you do, you can ride that momentum for a very long time, for an absolute lifetime. My wife's business has been riding that momentum since 2009. That's a big part of why we're so successful, and the fact that we have that successful business is why I get to give you all of this information and more via my emails for free, because I really want to help you grow your business online. If you have any questions for me, hit me in the comments below. I'll answer questions as I have time. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. Feel free to share it with anybody who's on a content marketing path. If you want to embed it to talk about the long-term results of content marketing, feel free to embed the video. You do have my blessings on that if that's something you're interested in doing, and I look forward to connecting with you on another video in a couple of days where we'll go deeper into some of the nuts and bolts about marketing. Until then, be well, and I look forward to connecting with you on the next video.